Yo. Mic check. Am I good? I think I'm good. Hey, good morning to people on the West. Good afternoon to people in the Midwest. Good afternoon to people on the East Coast. How's it going, guys? This is TNT Joe-Fi Tech News that Jerome Ortega finds interesting. This is episode 56. Sorry, I'm a little late today. I woke up late. That's it. I woke up late, had to go work out, and just running a little late. I got no excuses for you guys. And so today we are actually going to kind of switch things up a little bit. I don't think I'm going to do these hour-long streams unless I have to, unless there's enough news to cover it. So what I might start doing is I might start quickly going through maybe the big things that are going on, things that are interesting, but I want to try to cover as much as I can that is relevant, that's pertinent to what I want to do on this stream. Go through chat, kind of engage, just, keep it moving. Instead of kind of dragging things just to get that hour through, I'd rather put quality into it than quantity. Does that make sense? I hope so. Anyway, good morning, good afternoon, guys. I see Mint Arcade in here. I see Brian in here. How you guys doing? How's it going? I see Overlord here with a "you got this" whatever emoji. I don't know what that is, but hey, welcome to the stream, Overlord. Have I seen you in here before? I don't know if I have or haven't, but if I haven't, welcome to the stream. Thanks for coming by. If you guys haven't already, please feel free to like the video. If you do, it helps the algorithm. It helps people find me. It helps me do these streams. For you guys that don't know, I'm a freelance photographer, a freelance videographer. I used to work in IT for over a decade, and this is what I try to do now as my living, and I have for some time. But yeah, feel free to like and share and subscribe and check me out. Do appreciate you guys stopping by. I see Leon K here. Leon, hey, welcome to the stream. I don't think I've seen you here before either. So thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you coming in. I see Will here too. Yo, Will, what's up, man? How's it doing? Good afternoon. Okay, so let's get started, guys. Let's kind of get right into it. I have this article from CNET, not the best place to start talking about tech news from a site like CNET, but CNET has this article here that says OnePlus 8 Pro video appears to show off display ahead of launch. And this is actually something I wanted to share because I had a damn it, I don't have my earbuds on me, but maybe I'll play it for you guys. So the OnePlus 8 and 8 Pro are set to be revealed during an online event Tuesday, which is tomorrow. Are any of you guys hyped for this? Are any of you guys like, have you been saving your money to get a OnePlus 8? I'll tell you right now, I have not. I know a lot of people are excited about it. I'm not too excited about it. It does have a couple of things I'm looking forward to, but I'm also really weary about the price, especially today. Not everybody has money today. Again, especially with everything that's going on. But let's kind of go into it here. OnePlus's new 5G enabled flagship phones, the OnePlus 8 and 8 Pro, are set to be announced during an online event on Tuesday, again, tomorrow. But we may be getting an early look at the 8 Pro. YouTuber Marquez Brownlee, also known as MKBHD, on Monday shared a video showing off the display on what appears to be the OnePlus 8 Pro. So actually, maybe what I'll do here is I'll play a little of it for you guys if you haven't seen it.
Coming at you from the new studio.
Hopefully the sound's on. I don't have my earbuds, so I can't.
An exclusive.
Just listen.
Yes, this is a OnePlus 8 Pro. This is my OnePlus 8 Pro, as you might have guessed. Now, the announcement, of course, still hasn't happened yet, but you probably already know about OnePlus's classic strategy of
they have a case on it
about the phone little by little before it comes out. So it's in this case here because they wanted to hide everything about this phone except for the display. And I said, Marquez, you can say anything you want about the display that's being shown here by this case. So here's what I'll say. 120 hertz, check. 240 hertz touch sampling rate, also check. 1440p resolution, also check. And that is while 120 hertz is on. So if I go into advanced here, 120 hertz is on.
So 120 hertz
QHD plus resolution
and QHD plus. Those are great things.
Screen. It's HDR10 plus. It's still got the fingerprint reader underneath the glass. All of that. Check, check, check. I mean, honestly, it's right up there as one of the best. It's one of the fastest displays in any phone. 60 to 90 hertz is obviously more noticeable than 90 to 120 hertz. But I'm tempted to make like an entire video on that kind of. But I will say it's noticeably brighter than last year's phone.
Brighter too, which is great.
And yeah, I'm still not a fan of the curved edges. I'll mention
and this is something I want to talk about. This
pretty
too.
Aggressively curved over. OnePlus would probably say that's more for your bezel-less look when there's no case on it. But to me, that still spells a lot of accidental screen presses. But yeah, that's about all I can say for this teaser. You can use your imagination for the rest. But
okay, so let's kind of end it there. So yeah, really high-end specs again for the OnePlus 8 Pro. We're talking about a great display, right? AMOLED, 120 hertz, QHD plus. So it has top of the line, and it looks like you also have the option there to select. I think it was 60 hertz. So you can, at least if you don't want the 120 hertz, you can, have that option to save battery, which is a great idea. That's something that I want to see phone manufacturers do, is give us the option to pick what kind of refresh rate we want. So if we want to save some battery, we can. So the one thing though that I did notice was the whole curved display, right? This is something that, yeah, aesthetically it looks nice, but it's going to be really prone for accidental touches. And I know there's some people who don't have that issue. I get that. And I don't know if those people are just being apologists for something that does happen, because it's something that happens to me quite often. When I had my Samsung phones, the S9 Edge or S8, whatever, I had issues with that. I just, it wasn't my favorite. I'd rather not have a phone with that. Again, I can see them going for this because they want it to look as sleek and modern and as 2020 as it can be. But as far as form over function, so again, the big thing here though too is the price. How much is this phone going to go for? Again, Pete Lau said that it's not going to be over $1,000. $900 is my assumption. I think this is probably going to go for $899. Would you spend $899 for this phone? I don't know. It's going to have, again, very high end specs. It's going to have the best Snapdragon chipset, right? It's going to have 5G. It's going to have a beautiful display. It's going to have great battery life. It's going to have great wireless charging, and then also fast charging for wireless and for wired. Performance wise, it's probably going to knock it out of the park like it usually does. It's going to have a great UI. But my big question is the camera. What's the camera? How's the camera going to be on this phone? That has always been its Achilles heel, right? And I've said that before. And is it going to continue to be its Achilles heel? Is it going to really knock it out of the park this time? Is that $900 price tag or whatever it's going to be? If it's $800, that's going to be a great deal. Probably be the best deal for those kind of specs on a lot of phones, that the more popular known phones here, the ones that you can access here in the States is what I'm trying to say. But I don't think it's going to come in at $800. It's probably going to come in at 900. And I guess the question is too, when we're talking about OnePlus 8, OnePlus 8 Pro in general, and we scale back to the OnePlus 8, what's the price tag going to be on the OnePlus 8? Is it going to be $600? Is it going to be $700? That's my assumption. I'm thinking the OnePlus 8 is going to go in at $700. I think the OnePlus 8 Pro will come in at $900, and the OnePlus 8 at 700. I don't know. I don't know if it'll be worth it at that price. I wouldn't pay for it, but that's me. I feel like you could probably get a better phone if, well, camera wise is what I'm trying to get at there. It's still a lot of money for a phone, but let's kind of just read through the rest of this article. As follow-ups to the OnePlus 7 and 7 Pro, the OnePlus 8 and 8 Pro are confirmed to have 5G connectivity and 120 hertz displays, a step up from 2019's 90 hertz screens. The OnePlus 8 Pro will also support speedy 30-watt wireless charging, so only on the 8 Pro for that. Because of these features, the phones are likely to be pricier. Again, my thought here is around $900. In the nearly 2-minute video, Brownlee says the phone's in a case to hide everything except its display. He shows 120 hertz display with 1440p resolution, QHD. This is QHD plus. Turn on in the phone's advanced settings menu like previous OnePlus phones. Brownlee says the 8 Pro has an AMOLED display with an in-screen fingerprint reader. So again, tomorrow is when this is going to launch. I don't know what time that event's going to be. I would love to kind of do a live reaction to that event, but I don't know yet. I haven't thought about that. So if let me put it this way, at a $700 price point for the OnePlus 8, if camera isn't your top priority, it's probably going to be a great phone for you at that price, probably compared to other phones. But with the OnePlus 7T right now going for $499, that's a pretty good deal for $500. And if this is going to be $200 more, maybe that's the better deal. I mean, obviously it's a better deal price wise, but yeah, I don't know. Again, I know a lot of people are excited for it. I just don't know where I lie with it yet. I guess I have to wait for tomorrow. I guess for me, the biggest thing is the camera. And I know I'm going to sound like a broken record because I say it stream after stream after stream, but I am worried about its camera performance in low light indoors and in difficult lighting in general. Those are the things that have plagued the OnePlus lineup, almost all their phones. And I don't know if this is going to ring true for the OnePlus 8 or the OnePlus 8 Pro. I don't know. Well, so going into that, I have this other article here from Android Authority that says, here's what you're getting in the OnePlus 8 series pop-up box. I don't know if you guys are excited about things like these. I am not. I also don't use cases for my phone, so this kind of stuff isn't really a big deal to me unless you're a collector, maybe. So the OnePlus 8 series is on track to launch tomorrow, and leaks are still pouring in about the new flagship killers. This latest one comes from frequent tipster Evan Blass, who has outed an image of all the contents inside the special OnePlus 8 series pop-up box on Patreon. So it comes with I'll just read it here since here's a picture for you guys who want to see it. And so OnePlus recently announced that it's hosting an online pop-up event for the new series. The company has promised a special pop-up box to buyers who purchase a phone at the event. Yeah, are any of you guys doing this? I'm just curious. I'll check chat in a second to see. But as per Blast's leak, the OnePlus 8 series pop-up box will include the following: a cyan sandstone bumper case, a clear bumper case, one carbon bumper case, and earbuds. So 3 cases and earbuds. And I hate how they call them wireless earbuds because yes, I know they're wireless, but I like true wireless. I have Air AirPod Pros, AirPods Pros. However, I don't know it offhand, but that's what I use daily. Have been using daily, and I don't like the ones with the wires in them. I don't like a wired version of it. So, but it says here it would have been nice if OnePlus also included its new wireless charging dock in the package, which would have been great. But sadly, that's not the case, probably because it's a costly accessory and is expected to set you back around $76. OnePlus has cautioned that these special pop-up boxes will be available in limited quantities in a first-come, first-served basis. For now, the boxes are headed to Europe, but we've also asked OnePlus if it'll expand availability to other regions. Just thought it was interesting. I hadn't seen this article or this whole pop-up box event. I don't follow OnePlus like a fanatic because I'm not. I love OnePlus phones and I have for quite a while, but with the prices going up the way they have, I've been losing interest in that regard. And then, like I said before, year over year, seeing the camera results and testing them myself, I haven't been, you know, greatly impressed where now the price point doesn't match the quality I'm getting out of it. Again, I'm not taking anything away from OnePlus as far as hardware, performance, battery, now display, all those things are great. They're wonderful. I love to see that. I love seeing it happen. I'm not so happy about the price, and I'm still really questioning its camera and its camera capabilities. Okay, chat. So let's see here. Hi everybody. By the way, if you guys are new to the stream, I appreciate you stopping by. Who have I not seen here? Hackney, man. Yo, good evening. Hackney, how's it going, man? How you doing? Good evening to you. Good afternoon to me here. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for making the stream. I see Leon here too. Oh, Leon says, yep, I have 250 credit for a turn-in at OnePlus. Want to see the trade-in value for older devices. Well, there you go. So that'll be a great deal. Are you looking for the 8 or the 8 Pro? Or are you still on the fence about either or? I see Cole saying I have a 6T and debating the upgrade. Cole, by the way, if I didn't, I don't think I did. Hey, welcome to the stream. Appreciate you stopping by. Thanks for coming, engaging, chatting. Price and camera performance might be an issue. Yeah, that those are the exact 2 things I was talking about. For the OnePlus, the price and camera performance. Those are my 2 big things that I'm again questioning. So let's see here. Cole also says, yeah, agree. They really need to improve the camera on all the models for these prices. I agree. And I think if I read that properly, I think the OnePlus 8 and OnePlus 8 Pro are going to have 2 different main camera shooters. So the performance on both of them might be completely different too. So who knows? Let's see here. Mint Arcade says, want camera performance, may consider Oppo. Will says they can keep the pop-up box. I just want the phone. I'm the same way. I don't really care about the pop-up box. I don't care about these bumpers or whatever. But again, maybe if you're a collector, you want something different, I guess. Daniel says, this is my first time here. Nice stream. Also, Daniel's a liar. Daniel, welcome to the stream. Appreciate you stopping by again. Not your first time. Brian also says the camera better be on point for $800 to $900. I totally agree. Leon, okay, 8 Pro. Yeah, so just make sure it's worth it, man. Again, the 8 Pro if the 8 Pro comes in at $900, you're going to have a solid phone because of the wireless charging. It's going to be great. You're going to have great performance, great, pretty much great everything except let's see how the camera performs. make sure it's worth your money there, especially if camera is your top thing. I'm not talking so much about day shots. I'm not talking about great lighting. I'm talking about night shots, indoor shots, uh, harsher lighting environments. Just make sure if that is important to you, you check and see before you drop that cash that those camera reviews that people are going to put out are actually worthwhile, that it compares to a Pixel 4, it compares to a iPhone 11 Pro. That's it. Mint Arcade says, I wonder why they decided to add IP ratings this year, given they're proud to not have it while keeping it airtight and not adding to the price. I think it's just people have been complaining. They're complaining about it. They're complaining about it, which is funny to me that they complain about that. They take care of that, but people are complaining about the camera and they're not fixing that. So I don't know. If anything, it's just another way to put a feather in their cap, right? To say, hey, this is also IP68 certified, so give us more money. That's kind of how I'm thinking that that's going. Yeah. Yeah, 5G is a gimmick. I also agree. I see Max here. Max, welcome to the stream, man. Appreciate you stopping by. Max says 7T here with Gcam. The camera is at iPhone 11. No intention of upgrading. OnePlus should work together with Google to improve the camera. So here's the thing, Max. I've used Gcam for many of my OnePlus phones. I actually haven't had any of the 7 series phones because money's been real tight for me lately, but I have done Gcam tests from as recent as the 6T. And yes, the quality has been great on it. And I've done blind tests with the OnePlus phones and other Android phones, even Pixels. And when I do blind tests, people can't figure out which one's the OnePlus or the Pixel, or they prefer the OnePlus more during the day. I don't know how the 7T performs at night with Gcam. I would love to test that out. That would be a great camera comparison that I would love to do. But I can't say that it's at iPhone 11 Pro level or iPhone 11 level until I actually do a little testing myself. But that's good to know. I mean, it doesn't surprise me that Gcam does well with the 7T because it's done well with previous OnePlus phones that I've had in the past as well. Okay, so let's move on. Let's talk about, this is done with OnePlus stuff. If you guys have questions, feel free to leave them in there. Again, if you guys are new, or if you guys are just stopping by, please feel free to like this video. Liking this video helps me in the algorithmy, blah, blah, blah. It just helps me out, so I appreciate it. But again, for you guys stopping by in chat, appreciate you with the support. Appreciate you hanging by. Again, real quick, this stream and future streams will probably not be as long as they've typically been. They're probably not going to be in the hour range anymore. I'm kind of going to just really go through the news, read what's important, talk about what's important. If it does go an hour or past an hour, that's wonderful. I love it, but only if it's newsworthy, right? Only if there's an engaging chat. If we can sit and talk, then that's great. But otherwise, let's move on. So there's another article here from GSM Arena talking about the Motorola Edge Plus. This is something that I haven't seen. I've been so out of the loop with Motorola. Was there a Motorola Edge before the Edge Plus, or is this Edge Plus just the name they're giving it? Or is the Motorola Edge an older phone that I have no idea? Because I've been out of the loop for phone stuff for maybe a little bit. So this article from GSM Arena says the Motorola Edge Plus will be unveiled on April 22nd. Waterfall display officially teased. So here we go again with this waterfall display, and you'll see it here. These are these curved edges again. This is something that aesthetically, it looks great. It kind of gives it that modern feel, but that kind of stuff is always what ends up having me accidentally touch the phone, using accidental touches, right? I'm pressing on things that I shouldn't be pressing on, and then I end up just getting pissed off, wishing that it wasn't curved. Just give me a regular. And this is one of those things where it looks good, but it might not function the way you need it to. So the Motorola Edge Plus will be officially unveiled on April 22nd. Is anybody waiting for this? Is anybody here in this chat right now waiting for the Motorola Edge Plus? Because again, I haven't heard of it. Wednesday next week. How do we know? Moto's teaser tweet promises a flagship and shows the nearly 90-degree curve of a waterfall display. just as we've seen in these renders. The Moto Edge should be at the event as well. Okay, so there is a Moto Edge. Okay. I'm putting this on because I know there's a little Twitter thing there. I'm not just putting it on to put it on. It too has a waterfall display, though. It's missing a flagship chipset. It's reported to have a Snapdragon 765G instead of the Snapdragon 865 of the Plus model. And yes, both will have 5G connectivity. Okay, so there is a Moto Edge. I was jumping the gun. I read. If you guys are new here, I usually will pull up the titles and I'll read along with you. So I said this before. I don't know everything, guys. That's why you guys are here to help me out too. Okay, let's just see this trailer. If you're going to play, are you not going to play? Okay, my computer just wants to be a dick. That makes no sense. That's it. They show it like no one's ever done this before. I mean, not maybe this curve is more than before, but I guess I'm just waiting for the phones then to just wrap around the entire back, and then you'll have a display on the back and the front, right? I don't know. The Motorola Edge Plus screen should measure 6.67 inches in diagonal and 1080p plus in resolution. Interestingly, this is set to be Moto's first phone with a 90 hertz screen and Moto's first 5G phone, millimeter wave included, unless you count the 5G Moto mod for the the Z3. Another first for the brand will be the 1080p main or 108 megapixel main camera, part of a triple camera setup. 108 plus 16 plus 8 megapixels, 8 megapixel module may be a telephoto cam. The vanilla Moto Edge will have a 64 megapixel main cam instead, along with 16 megapixel ultra wide and 8 megapixel telephoto. By the way, the Edge name will likely be exclusive to Verizon, of course. So it'll be a carrier locked phone for this Edge. On other carriers in other countries, this may be sold under the Moto One brand unless Motorola wants to resurrect the Z series. So this is only going to be a Verizon phone. Well, that fucking sucks. I feel cheated. Why did I read this article anyway? For you guys that don't know, I only buy unlocked phones. I don't like carrier locked phones. I don't like carrier locked bullshit. I don't like carrier bloatware or any kind of like garbage like that. I also don't believe people should buy a phone if they can't afford it from the start. You can disagree with me if you want, if you don't mind paying monthly payments, but I just don't think that's the way people should be buying phones. I think that's just a predatory way of keeping you on contract and having you buy a phone that you really can't afford. I mean, that's how I feel. You could say the same with cars or whatever. I mean, I don't obviously not a lot of us have 10 grand, 15 grand, 20 grand for a car, but so I understand that a little more than a phone, especially when there are other choices out there that you can buy. I'll get off my soapbox. So yes, the Motorola Edge and Motorola Edge Plus next week. It'll have a Snapdragon 765G. I still want to get my hands on a Snapdragon 700 series and see how well they actually work. I've actually never messed with one before because one of the reasons I want to try a Snapdragon 700 series is to test out its performance because of the Pixel 4a. I want to see how well a 700 series really does when this 4a comes out and see if it's really worthwhile. If it's a bargain deal, I mean, it's going to be a bargain deal because of the camera with the 4a in general, but also because of with this phone coming out at $400, the Pixel 4a with a Snapdragon 700 series. I just want to see if it's, a good competitor for these mid-range phones. I don't know. I'm not excited for this phone. I thought I'd talk about it, see if it's going to be any good. If they're actually going to release it as an Android One with stock Android on it, I would be more excited about it since I'm a big stock Android fan. But I know that Motorola, they've still continued to release Moto One phones, but they're not including stock Android in it anymore. It's a little tweaked. There's a whatever skin or whatever they're doing. It's a little different than stock Android, which is upsetting for me. Disappointing, I guess, is the better word. So again, that's about it. That's all I wanted to talk about with that. Let's head into chat here. So Cole says Moto phones not even on my radar. Yeah, not for me either. It's been a while. Mint Arcade says, but I feel Motorola has lost its shine long time ago. Totally agree. The last Motorola phone I had was, well, my one of my favorite phones, and I've talked about this with my tech chat, is one of my favorite phones of all time is the Moto X Pure. Those were my favorite phones. I love those phones. Um, and then when that other generation came out where you could get like the big ass Motorola ones, the big ass Moto X. That's when I started to say I did own one of those, and I was like, this is not what I initially bought. They kind of changed over time, and ever since then, that's been it. I mean, I did have the Nexus 6, that big ass phone that uh, Nexus or Google collaborated with Moto, but yeah, those were the last ones I had since then. Brian says here, Moto needs to bring back the Moto X and do what OnePlus did in the beginning. I would love to see that, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. Brian also says Moto X Pure was fire, unlocked for all carriers. It was great. It was the way to they did phones right then. I don't know what happened then. Leon says LG G4 leatherback. Yeah, I remember that. I never owned a G4, but I remember that leather. It wasn't the G5. I had the G5. That's the one that's the one that people complained about the quality because they said it wasn't aluminum. Was it aluminum? But they painted it so it looked real cheap, or it felt real cheap. I had that phone, and yeah, I mean, it did feel cheap. It was an okay phone though. I didn't have. It wasn't. It was okay. Mints Arcade says bamboo back would be sweet. I remember those days. I really do. I miss the customizability of what we used to have back in the day. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with phones lately. It's just it's a different world, just things have changed, and now we have a lot of, I don't know. I don't know. Let's move on. I'm sorry, guys. I'm like reminiscing, and it's just, you can't change that kind of stuff. So, this article here from Android Authority says Oppo Ace 2 announced a fast charging Snapdragon 865 flagship for under $600. So, this Oppo Ace 2, again, I don't know much about Oppo phones. I've never owned an Oppo phone. Um, Obviously, I don't think this phone is eligible to be bought in the States. Maybe you can import it in, but or can you buy these in the States? Do you guys know? Any of you guys own Oppo phones? Because I've never owned one. And I know Oppo is part of OnePlus, right? They're all in the same kind of grouping, I think. I need to do my homework on that. So the Oppo Reno Ace was one of 2019 standout phones, delivering almost everything you could want from an affordable flagship phone. Now the firm has decided to drop the Reno and launch the Oppo Ace 2. Oppo's latest device packs the Snapdragon 865 processor, so it has DDR5, LPDDR5 RAM, UFS 3.0 storage, and dual mode 5G connectivity, as you'd expect from a 2020 flagship. So all the high end stuff, right? The company is also unveiling or delivering a 90 hertz FHD plus OLED panel with 180 hertz touch response rate, in line with the high refresh rate trend we've seen in the past year or so. So the only thing that looks like that it's holding back here, it's not UFS 3.1, and instead of 120 hertz, it has 90 hertz, but still high end specs. Much like the Reno Ace, Oppo Find X2 Pro and Realme X50 Pro, the new smartphone sports 65-watt wired charging. If it's anything like the Reno Ace, then you can expect the 4,000 milliamp hour battery to fully charge in 35 minutes. That is disgustingly fast. 4,000 milliamp hours in 35 minutes? I don't that's a new, I'm not used to seeing that. I didn't realize that it charged that fast. 35 minutes from 0 to 100%? That's crazy. That isn't the only way. It makes me want one just to test it out, to see if it really, if those times are really claimed to what it is. That isn't the only way you can top up the phone, as the firm's Air VOOC, or is that AirVOOC, wireless charging solution delivers 40-watt charging speeds. Tied with the Huawei P40 Pro Plus, Oppo says this wireless charger should deliver a full charge in 56 minutes. Yeah, these are disgustingly fast speeds to charge the phones. Chinese users will need to splash out 249 yuan for this accessory though, around $35, but you can get up to 10-watt speeds via third-party Qi chargers. The Oppo Ace 2 also differs 10-watt reverse wireless charging, so you can top up your true wireless earbuds or a friend's phone. Again, this reverse wireless charging is weird to me because I just don't see many people using it. But I will say lately, I have a set of AirPods Pros, and there are a lot of times I forget to charge it because, they last a pretty long time and I use them daily because I work out daily. And there are some times I forget to charge it. And I guess in those instances, it wouldn't be bad to have reverse wireless charging to charge those up, especially before this whole quarantine thing, I used to take public transportation everywhere. I take the bus everywhere. I took the train everywhere. And now I'm like, locked up in a room 95% of the time. So, maybe when things go back to normal, I can see how that could be beneficial because let's say I forget to charge my AirPods, right? And I'm on the train and I have a 45-minute train ride or 45, whatever, right? 10-minute walk, 30-minute train ride. And my AirPods aren't charged, then I can use reverse wireless charging to charge them up, which would be awesome. That would actually, I wouldn't mind doing that at all. The new phone also sports a quad rear camera setup featuring a 48 megapixel main camera, 8 megapixel ultra wide snapper, 119-degree field of view, and a pair of 2 megapixel portrait sensors. How does that work? Don't expect telephoto zoom capabilities here then. Meanwhile, selfies and video calls are handled by a 16 megapixel camera inside a punch hole cutout. Anyway, so in-display fingerprint sensor, Brino Assistant, is that their thing? Stereo speakers, blah, blah, blah. So the Oppo Ace 2 will start at 4,000 yuan, $567. So $567 for Snapdragon, was it 865, right? Yeah. So $567 for Snapdragon 865, 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of internal storage, fast wired charging, fast wireless charging. I don't know about the camera, but see, when you look at that price, that's great. That's why, again, I don't know what OnePlus is going to charge their 8 at. If the OnePlus 8 goes for $599, I would be happy. I would say, hey, they're still trying to be competitive in price. If they're going to go at the $700 price point, again, that's when someone like me and maybe you guys need to start scaling back and say, hey, maybe it's just better getting the phone that was good last year, or grab whatever special sale is going on because these are starting to get out of hand price wise. But yeah, this brand new phone starting at $567 for 8 gigs and with 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage with everything else I mentioned above is a great deal. And then you can get it with 256 gigs for 624, and then $650 with 12 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage, which is, yeah, those are top of the line specs. Again, I don't know how good the camera is going to be, but if camera isn't your top, if camera isn't your top priority, then this is a good deal for someone like you. If again your priorities are different, my priorities are. That's why it's hard for me to kind of buy these phones, because my top priority is stock Android, and then price falls into there, and then camera, right? Stock Android just completely puts out of competition for me. I mean, I guess there are ways I can maybe root it or whatever, and maybe that's something I should start looking into, but I don't know. I haven't really looked into it like that yet. So okay, guys, let's see here. Going back into chat. Sorry, guys. Hey, guys, especially for people who are new or you're stopping by, thanks for stopping by. Please feel free to hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. I try to stream every day, Monday through Friday, around 12 noon. Sorry, today I was a little late, but appreciate you guys stopping by. So let me go through this really, really quick. Leon says, which LG introduced boot loop? I was just in my head, I was just thinking of the Nexus 5X, but maybe they've been doing it with Brian says all of them. Yeah, and he might be right. Yeah, Mint Arcade says, as far as new phones, now everything is glass front and back. Keystone Tech, hey, What's up, man? Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you stopping by. I replay it later. Replay crew. Yeah, that's right. If you guys are late or you're just coming in, please feel free to replay. Watch what I've been reading about, what I've been going through. Yeah. But thanks again for stopping by. Too busy. Yeah, man. Do what you got to do. Just appreciate you stopping in, saying hi, saying what's up. Means a lot to me, man. So Brian says, I just wish we were allowed to flash stock Oxygen OS on these international phones. Oh, that's such a good idea. That would be awesome if we could do that. Oh my God. I really need to start maybe looking at root more. See what better deals I could find on phones and then root them and then put like a stock version of Android on it. I see Mike Schneider. What up? What up, Mike? How's it going, man? Welcome again. Nice to see you back. Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you stopping by. Appreciate you chatting in here and saying what's up. Okay, so let's see. Hackney Man says, going back to the MKBHD video, was that the Google feed on the left home screen and not the shelf? Oh, do we need to look at that again? Let's look at that again. Let me take the sound off here. When did he do that? Was it earlier? Oh, what? Dude, that's a good catch. Did you see that? Wait, holy shit. Actually, Will's gonna enjoy that. Will probably miss that too. Look at that. He swiped to the shelf, or he swiped to the Google feed. What? That's a good catch, Hackney Man. That's awesome. That maybe it's an option now to keep that on, or to use that instead of the shelf. That's a great addition from OnePlus. If that's, I mean, I'm assuming this is how it's going to be, right? Oh, I'm sorry, I had this on the small here, guys. But yeah, oh shit, I'm happy to see that. I'm happy to see OnePlus actually listen and give the users a, yeah, that is the Google feed. That's fucking great. Nice catch, man. I appreciate you saying that. I'm glad you caught that. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait then to see what else they're coming up with. Maybe the live event's going to be good. Maybe we'll see. So let's see. Mint Arcade says it's even fun to look at the charging meter run. Yeah, I would love to see it really charge that quickly. That's really impressive. OnePlus finally dropped fast charging bragging rights because of Ace. Maybe, man. Yeah, 0 to 100 in 35 minutes wired and 0 to 156 minutes wireless is ridiculous. It really is. Okay, so I see George here. George, sounds like a good deal depending upon the cameras. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a good deal overall. Will says, you have to remember though, 5G is money, so they will still have the cheapest 5G phone, right? Will says, and most people don't have two phones to compare the cameras, so OnePlus camera will be okay for them. Yeah, most people think that way. They're not really looking at it into those terms, and maybe some people, their biggest priority isn't the phone. They'll be happy with pretty much whatever most companies will give them for a phone. And again, most phones do a great job at day shots at really good lighting. So unless they're at, a bar or something at night or shooting something, at nighttime, then that's really when they're going to be like, yeah, not the best. So, Levin, did I say your name right? Hopefully I did. Levin Williams. Hello, I made it just in time. Levin, welcome to the chat, man. Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you stopping by. Brian Jerome chops up clips to catch the parts you like. Replay clips for the, yeah, I do. So I'm actually going to cut this OnePlus 8 one up. Maybe another one. We'll see. Really depends. Yeah. So yeah, Will did catch it. Okay, I want it now. I'm sold. Wait, so you're not going to get the Pixel 4 anymore? I'm actually going to get into that in a second here. But yeah, that's great to see. I'm glad that the Google feed is there now. Hackney Man says also, last question for me, 90 versus 120 hertz, much of a noticeable difference? So here's the thing. I only have a Pixel 4. It's the only thing I've actually used that has 90 hertz. And yes, it's noticeable, but not noticeable enough where if somebody turned it off for me, Like, let's say somebody secretly turned off the 90 hertz on my Pixel 4. I probably wouldn't catch it. Do I do I notice the smoothness? Yeah, I notice it. It's there, but it's also not something that I'm keeping in my head all day. It really isn't. I think it's a great feature. It's nice to have that technology, but I also don't think it's a deal breaker. But at this point, we're at that stage where every flagship phone has to have it, because if they don't have it, people are going to bitch. And if people are going to bitch, then it's going to become the headline for every, article, every review that comes out, and everyone's going to be spitting and vomiting the same stuff over and over and over. And I don't think it's a deal breaker. Is it nice? It's great. There are a lot of people who tell me, Jerome, well, you don't get it. Like, once you go this way, you'll never, I don't know. I watch stuff on 90 hertz on my Pixel 4, but I also use my iPhone 11 Pro, and actually the iPhone 11 Pro has a brighter display than my Pixel 4. So maybe I don't know. I think the display looks nice on my iPhone 11 Pro over my Pixel 4. I'm not sitting here on my iPhone and saying I wish it had 90 hertz. I really don't. But that's also me. So just obviously everyone's opinion is going to be a little different. If it was 60 hertz and then 120 hertz, maybe then it's going to be such a substantial improvement or jump where I'm like, I gotta have it, but I don't feel that way. I really don't. So, yeah, Levin says that OnePlus 8 is looking interesting. It is. Again, I'm just curious about the price. I don't know. How that's going to work out. Yeah, see, so Levin says, I noticed the 90 hertz on my Pixel 4 XL. So he does. He sees it there. And again, that's my opinion on how I use it on my Pixel 4. I don't think it's show-stoppingly, like, it doesn't like pop me in the face and it says I can't, when it's, let me put it this way. When I use my Pixel 4 and I notice the 90 hertz, I don't later on go back to my iPhone 11, start using it and say, God damn it, I can't use this phone anymore. I can only use my Pixel 4. No, I don't do that. I don't even notice it in that regard. Some other people might, but in my experience, I don't. Big House Productions. Hey, Will, I finally caught one of Jerome's live streams. Big House, welcome to the stream, man. Appreciate you stopping by. Appreciate you making it. Appreciate you engaging in chat. Thank you, Will, for giving him a little, if you gave him feedback to check it out or whatever. I do appreciate that. So, yeah, again, thank you guys for stopping by. Let's move on. I don't have much longer. There's only two more things I wanted to talk about here, and it's deals on phones. So here we go with an article from Android Central that says upgrade to the unlocked Google Pixel 3a on sale for $300 via Best Buy. If you are looking for a phone right now, I have two different deals that I'm just putting up. New phones are coming, so these deals are going to start coming by too. So this article from Android Central says, though images of the Google Pixel 4a packaging were recently leaked online, it could still be some time before the device is available for purchase. If you're shopping for a new phone today and looking for a stellar deal on one, the reliable Google Pixel 3a is a fantastic option, especially with today's deal available at Best Buy. Right now, you can save $100 off its cost and pick up an unlocked Google Pixel 3a for only $299. When you choose activate later, if you activate now, you can buy it for $250. That's it. I just wanted to talk about that. I'm not, if you know someone who's looking for a phone for $300, or if you guys are looking for a phone for $300, then it might be a reasonable deal, especially if you're looking for somebody, or if somebody's looking for a phone that's on a tight budget, that doesn't need the most performance on a phone, but they want a good camera experience. Yeah, the Pixel 3a is a great deal at that price for a brand new phone. At $300, that's kind of a hard deal to beat. Again, you need to, if you know someone that's looking for a phone, make sure that their priority is a really good camera, because then, yeah, the Pixel 3a is a great deal. But with that being said, right now, if you go to Google's website, you can buy the Pixel 4, the current flagship phone from Google, for $499. So not just for $200 more, because $200 is still a lot of money, but for $500, Google has taken $300 off their Pixel 4 and their Pixel 4 XL. So you can get the Pixel 4 now at $499, and then you can get the Pixel 4 XL for $599. So let's kind of break this down. You can get a Pixel 3a right now for $299, and then when the Pixel 4a comes out, that'll probably be $399, and then the Pixel 4 will be $499. And this is, for me, I feel like these are the prices they should have put the Pixel 4s at. Imagine that. You can buy the cheaper version for $100 less, right? The Pixel 4a, or you can buy the Pixel 4 for $499. Which would also, and then you buy last year's model for $100 less than that. I think that's a great pricing model. I think Google would sell a fuck ton of phones if they did that. I really do. If the Pixel 5 came out at $499, those would go flying off the shelves. They really would. Put the Pixel 5 at $499, put the Pixel 5 XL at $599, put the Pixel 4a at $399, and then put just those will be great deals. I don't know. Here's the thing though. As much as I say that's a great deal for a Pixel 4 at $499, the battery is not the greatest. It is not. Although I have been getting about a day's worth of battery life on my phones, on my Pixel 4 lately, and I never did before. But I think that also has to do with being on Wi-Fi almost the entire day. Other than like the 1 hour I leave my place to go for a walk or do cardio or do some kind of working out. Other than that 1 hour, for 23 hours a day, my Pixel 4 is on wireless, or on Wi-Fi. So maybe that's why the battery is doing so much better. But actually, Brian here in the chat had recommended that I turn off digital well-being on my Pixel 4. So I did. And Brian doesn't know this because I'm just talking about it now. But on my Pixel 4, when I turned off digital well-being, I ended up getting almost another hour of screen on time. I ended up with around 5-ish, so maybe 45 minutes more minutes of screen on time, which is great. I'll take it. I really will. That's actually something that I want to talk about in a later video, because what I'm doing now is I'm using my Pixel 4 as my daily driver. That's the phone I use. The iPhone 11 Pro has been my daily driver for some time, but the Pixel 4 I've been using a lot more, just to like see how it's been doing 5 months later. And it has improved in some regards, but I want to make a higher production video. I miss doing higher production videos. I miss that little creativity aspect that I used to put in my videos. I've been doing a lot of live streams, but I've also been so busy doing some other work. So those are coming, especially if you guys know me and you guys have been to my channel. You guys have seen some of my older work. Holy shit. Leon with the $10 super chat. Leon, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for just even dropping by and saying what's up. Hey, yeah, guys, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for that support. That means a ton to me, man. Again, like I've said to chat before, I'm a freelance photographer, I'm a freelance videographer, and I quit my IT job that I was doing for over a decade to get into YouTube. And that's been a real tough grind. It really has. So something like that means a lot to me. So Leon, again, thank you so much. Man, appreciate it. I really do. Kind of threw me back there. So thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Big House says, is the OnePlus 8 going to be worth replacing my OnePlus 7 Pro? I don't know. Is it? That's actually a really good question. I don't know if, I don't know. I guess you also have to see what the OnePlus 8 is going to price at, and how good that camera is going to be on the OnePlus 8. That is a good question though, and how much you would get for the OnePlus 7 Pro if it would be worth your money. Demetrius Dukas for the fourth. Demetrius, hey, first of all, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. I don't think I've seen that name before. So appreciate you stopping by. Appreciate you engaging in chat with the community. It means a lot to me. Just it's nice to have a community, talk about tech, and like kind of go into these things. So hey, Jerome, appreciate your live vids. You're doing a great job. Thank you so much. I also own a 4XL and 11 Pro Max. So you're like me, except I have the smaller versions. I have the Pixel 4 and I have the iPhone 11 Pro. I change a lot of devices per year. every Samsung, iPhone, Pixel, but always sold my Samsung in the first month. So I have a hard time. I can't disagree with you there because I'm a stock Android person. I'm one of those guys that appreciates stock Android, and it's every time I use a phone that doesn't have stock Android, it's hard for me to use. I have a hard time with it. Even little things on the OnePlus. OnePlus is like the only exception um, where I'm mostly okay with it. But again, look at what we just showed earlier when we swiped in that MKBHD video and it showed the actual Google feed. Uh, those things make me happy to see that they're kind of giving it more of an option to look more like stock Android. But yeah, I'm with you. I was gonna buy the I was gonna buy the Galaxy S20 Ultra until I realized I didn't have money to get one. But I'm glad I didn't because I really wasn't impressed with what I've seen. Might have been different if I actually tested the camera myself, but I haven't had a chance to mess around with it. But at the same time, I'm not I'm not too worried that I don't regret not buying it. I don't regret not buying it. I guess that's the best way to put it. So let's see. I'm back. Dunley. Yeah, tell me how to pronounce that, man. Hey, welcome back. Appreciate you stopping by. Welcome to the stream, man. How's it going? How you doing today? Um, okay, let's kind of move on here. I'm here talking about Samsung, and he's like, I'm on the S8 Plus. I had that phone, or maybe just the S8. No, I had both actually when I used to buy phones all the time. Um, do Denelli, right? Denelli. Okay, I think I got it. Max says, any difference between the Pixel 3a and Pixel 4 camera? Um, yeah, there's probably going to be a slight difference. I was not really impressed with the Pixel 4's camera this year as much as I was impressed with the Pixel 3's camera. So there might be a slight improvement. Did I make a video on the Pixel 3 and Pixel 4? I think I did. It's been a while, guys. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to like bear with me here. But yeah, there's gonna be at least oh well, the Pixel 4 camera. So here's the big thing about the Pixel 4 camera between the Pixel 3a. And actually the one thing I'm a little concerned about with the upcoming Pixel 4a camera is the fact that the Pixel 4 has some of the best portrait shots I've taken with a smartphone. Like Pixel 4, when I did portrait shots on the Pixel 3, I was not impressed with it. And I remember people gave me shit for it when I made photo camera comparison videos with portrait mode, saying that the Pixel 3 was not as good as what the iPhone at the time, the 10s, was offering, or even the Galaxy S9. I think the Galaxy S9 did a better job at taking portrait shots than my Pixel 3 because it could not find the depth properly. But with the Pixel 4, it's using that secondary camera, that telephoto camera, to help with its portrait shots. And it's some of the best portrait shots I've done. If you're not a big portrait person, if that's not a big deal to you, then I guess that's not too much to worry about. I still don't think there are huge differences between the Pixel 3 and Pixel 4's camera. Even in night mode, it's not. The Pixel 3 and Pixel 4 still have issues at night where they're trying to brighten up too much stuff and then they wash out the night sky and it's not as good as the iPhone 11. The iPhone 11 does a great job at night shots compared to the Pixel 4. If you guys don't believe me, if you guys are new to my channel, just check out I've done a ton of photo camera comparison videos. That's what I love to do. I'm not trying to toot my horn here, but like I've been doing camera stuff for a while. I shoot with the DSLR. I do the whole manual mode, whatever. But like I kind of know a little bit about photography. So please, if you guys are still having a hard time believing that, check out some of those videos where I've tested my Pixel 4 versus the iPhone 11 Pro and check out the night ones and you can really see the difference there. I in those videos, I spell out the differences too. I pick them apart, I zoom in, I show you guys what you should be looking for, what makes the difference there. Anyway, I'll stop with that. So yeah, as far as the camera, they should be similar for the 3A and the 4, except in portrait mode. I would probably have to test it again. Maybe I need to look at my old videos to remind me but off the top of my head, I don't think it's a world's difference except portrait mode. I think. I think. Okay. Yeah, so even Levin says it here. Portrait shots on my Pixel 4 XL is way better than my Pixel 3 XL. Exact same sentiment. I felt the same way. Same way. Um, yeah, Jerome, you did this versus a long time ago. I follow you since Pixel 2 days. Hey man, well, thank you for being a long time follower. I appreciate that. I'm surprised a lot of people will come out and they'll message me and they'll say they've been following me for a while. And I appreciate that support. I really do. So thank you guys. Okay, so let's see here. Um, Big House says thoughts on LG's cameras, the G8 and the V60. I actually did a stream not too long ago where somebody showed. If I can pull that up real quick, actually, hold on, guys. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. So, Big House, real quick. There was a an article I did with. I read over an article from Android Central that talked about the V60, and they were talking about if it was balanced. Oh, here it is. Here it is. So it's an article from Fandroid, and so here's the thing. I'm completely going off subject here, but I do want to talk about this because I went through these guys' camera comparisons. So I don't own a V60. I haven't owned a G8. I again, I'm in a weird position right now where I'm doing a lot of freelance work, so I don't make a ton of money. I can't buy every single phone that comes out. All I can do is kind of give my thoughts and my opinions on how these phones are performing and how they're doing. But yeah, as far as day shots, they were good, but I was not impressed with I was not impressed with the night shots on the V60. So you look at this here, and you could see like look at that. The lighting here is completely overexposed. I mean, you don't have to be a professional photographer to notice that. Like you can't read the numbers. Obviously, we know what these numbers are because that's how they come. But yeah, like that's awful. That's not how a night shot should turn out. This shot, I remember saying this one's a little too over sharpened. I mean, I don't know. I mean, some people like this look. I think it's way too over sharpened here. Um, this is like look at the lens flare on here is way too much. This is still a nice shot though. It's a nice bright shot, but I feel like the highlights and everything, it's just there's a little too much going on. This is still a little washed out, even though this is a bit clear. Uh, this is better, obviously, but see, you still see the lens flare here. I know I'm nitpicking, but I do. And what I said, I think what I said on my past video is if I took this shot with my iPhone 11 Pro, I'm almost positive my iPhone 11 Pro would come out with a better picture. And then if I was shooting this with a Pixel 4 or a Pixel 3, this night sky would be completely noisy because I don't know what Google's doing for their night shots. They need to see what Apple's doing and kind of like, get on par with them there. Again, this is a much better shot. Anyway, yeah, this portrait mode shot is also messed up because if you guys I don't know if you can tell, but I don't know if I can see if I can. God damn it. I'm sorry. I'm trying to go back. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is sorry, I didn't mean to completely change subjects here, but I don't think I think they have a really good camera as far as what you get in the day, just like most cameras do. Night shots, for me, again, if you're paying big money for a phone, night shots are, for me at least, the biggest differentiator. Give me a good camera with good low light photography, and that's usually what will get me to get that phone. That's why I shoot with my iPhone 11 Pro more than my Pixel 4, because I know that I get more consistent shots on my iPhone 11 Pro, especially at night. Anyway, those are just my thoughts. I know that's just a longer drawn out version there. So okay, let's see. Yeah, Big House says is that point and shoot or manual mode. I'm assuming it's point and shoot. I shoot mine point and shoot with a camera phone just because that's how I do it. I know people there. I mean, obviously you can get a lot more out of your camera if you shoot in manual mode. I'm assuming it's point and shoot. So just take it for how it is. Yeah, if we're talking manual mode, then yeah, that's a completely different story, right? Because then we can set it up differently. We can set the shutter up to be a lot quicker, a lot slower. And then we can mess with the ISOs so we're not getting a lot of noise. But for most people, at least for me, even for me, I like to just shoot point and shoot because when I want to take a really good shot, that's when I pull out my DSLR. But again, it's different for everyone. Okay, so let's kind of move on here. Roland, hey, did you stop by earlier? Hey, Roland, hey, nice show. Hey, thanks. Seen you come in here before, but if I didn't say hi earlier, hi. Welcome to the chat. I don't really have too much more going on here. But yeah, let's kind of no, actually I don't. The only two things left I have here is to talk about LG, this LG Velvet, if you guys haven't heard about it. So from this article from Gizmodo, how fuzzy will the LG Velvet phone really be? I'm not sure why they're saying fuzzy here because it's called Velvet, I'm guessing. After 8 generations of G series phones, it seems LG is finally ready to move on and try something different with a new family of handsets headlined by the upcoming LG Velvet, which is actually a great segue. So thank you, Big House, for talking about LG, because here we go. So, and while a shakeup from LG's mobile division has been long overdue, an important question remains: how fuzzy will the LG Velvet really be? Have you guys are any of you guys excited for this phone? I know that this just came out and they're talking about a new phone coming out, but were any of you guys big G owners? Were you buying every G series that came out? I bought the G5, and then the G6 I got, right, and then LG actually gave me a G7 for free, which was nice of them. But I really was not too impressed with the phones. Um, again, like we can talk about audio and stuff or whatever, but like my overall experience wasn't the greatest. It wasn't anything special where I needed to like sit and shout it out and say, this is the great deal that this is the phone you need to buy right now. So, anyway, so with no actual phones existing, it's hard to say. The goal of the Velvet is to transition away from LG's previous and somewhat boring alphanumeric designations and into something that LG says will, quote, help the consumer capture the essence of the device best suited for his or her personality and ever-changing trends. That just sounds like a bunch of marketing bullshit, because I can make these words sound to you and get to your emotional, like, anyway, let's see how this next phone actually, turns out. Admittedly, that sounds like a lot of it says right here, a lot like corporate jargon intended to evoke. I should just write these articles. That sounds a lot like corporate jargon intended to evoke an emotional response from potential buyers, though based on a few hints dropped by LG and the design preview LG dropped last week, LG might actually be cooking up something intriguing. For the Velvet's design, LG looks like it will lean hard on symmetry and smooth flowing lines, with the phone featuring a, quote, raindrop camera, in addition to symmetrical curves on the front and back of the phone that are meant to please both your hands and eyes. So they're really going with design here. It's important for them, I think, this time around to have a really nice, elegant, well-designed, symmetrical phone. I do like this whole like raindrop thing that they're thinking about doing. So LG's raindrop camera setup would certainly be a nice change from the they need to proofread their stuff. I think I say that about a lot of articles I read. From the massive block cameras we've seen on the Galaxy S20 and iPhone 11 Pro, that's actually a really good point. We're used to seeing like a square setup right here, and then so this is different and it's nice. I think it's a nice looking thing. So Twitter actually, so it says here, Twitter leaker Ice Universe even posted some fan renders of what the LG Velvet might look like, and the results are quite striking. To my eyes, it also looks like LG has adapted the styling of recent Sony Xperia phones and focused even harder on creating a rounder and more consistent, streamlined appearance. So these renders, I actually have it here, is from, I guess, what it could look like. First of all, this looks like a really tall phone, but yeah, this doesn't look bad. In a way, it kind of looks a little weird, maybe a little bit. I don't expect much from LG. I don't really know. Okay, that's also a very weird picture. Here, and then here's a picture of the front. So I don't know. To me, it's like, okay, yeah, it's a different design, but it also looks like every other phone that I'm seeing out there with just something a little different. I mean, I this is how much different can a phone be? You can only do so much, and I appreciate companies doing what they can to make the best out of a phone. I just, there's only so much you can do. So, holy shit, that's not what I was looking for. Okay. As for the fuzziness of the velvet, LG says the phone will feature a distinctive tactile elegance meant to evoke both lustrous smoothness and premium softness, which are key characteristics of the new phone. So maybe, yeah, maybe something different feeling in the back. We were just talking about that earlier when we were talking about the Moto X. This sort of implies that unlike the fan renders above, the Velvet may not have a glass back at all, with LG instead opting for a cloth or leather backed approach. While this would certainly be a big departure from recent LG phones, if we go back 5 years to the LG G4, there we go. We were just talking about this too, which included the option for a lovely replaceable leather back. Suddenly, the move to a material with a bit more texture doesn't seem that outlandish. Yeah, so I'll skip here. Over the past couple of years, LG's mobile division has been floundering, and if it takes a little desperation for LG to crank out something new and unique, LG might as well go all in. Unfortunately, while this means we can't definitively answer how fuzzy LG's next phone will be just yet, with a recent increase in hints and teases, it probably won't be long until we get a look at the Velvet for real. I don't know. I don't I don't know. I like, are you guys really excited for this phone? I see Leon saying here, Velvet back. Yes. Like smooth like velvet. It reminds me of that Seinfeld episode. But yeah, Big House says looks like 20 by 9. Yeah, it looks really tall. The colors do look nice. I do like that. Yeah, so Big House, you're an LG fan? I'm guessing. I have the G6, G8, G8X dual screen. I always wanted to try that dual screen out to see if any of those are actually real useful, or if it's something I could find a use for. But that's something I'd have to look into. Anyway, yeah, I don't know when. I think they were talking about May. I think May was around the time that LG was talking about releasing this Velvet, or releasing their new smartphone lineup. But whether that comes out then or not, I guess we'll wait and see. Really, my question here for LG is, how good is the UI going to be? Because I think that's a big hindrance for me. I prefer something that's more stockish. And I mean, even if LG doesn't bring out something that's more on the stock level, I don't know if LG's software has been the best in general. I really don't know how well the interface has been. I haven't used one in a while. I think, again, the last phone I had was a G7. I think. I think a G7. Again, it's been a while, so I'm sorry. But yeah, other than that, you know, it's nice to see these phones coming out. It's nice to see people like come up with something new. And that's what I feel helps technology grow, right? You see all these phones come out with new different things, like the fold and just dual screens or extra screens or whatever. The only problem is sometimes with these new technologies, it's at the consumer's expense. We become the guinea pigs. We're the ones shelling out all the money. But I mean, I guess how else are they going to test it? But sometimes when you price something so high, then I just feel like you're kind of ripping us off then, right? Like you're pricing something so high that you're not even sure is going to do well. But hey, if you got the money for it, then you can pay us. Like $1,500 for a Motorola Razr? Like, no, I'm sorry, that's not happening. I'm not shelling out that money. But it's in a gold blush color, or a blush gold color. I don't give a fuck. I'm not giving you $1,500. I don't care if it's in a gold color. Again, you guys spend the money how you want, but yeah, those are just my feelings for it. So, anyway, oh, I see another Tom de Berlin. Tom de Berlin. Did I say that right? If I didn't, please correct me. One of the best channels here on YouTube. Hey, thank you. Appreciate that. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. I'm about to end the stream though, but thank you for making it. Completely underrated. Greetings from Germany. Well, thanks. Thanks so much. Is it Tom or Tomda? But either way, thank you. I appreciate the kind words. I really do. That does mean a lot to me. So thank you so much. Okay. Let's see here. The thing is, this pandemic, uncertainty, unemployment, when will we be able to get back, etc. All this uncertainty will lead to people sticking with what they have now. Yeah, we were just talking about this in our tech chat not too long ago. Whether or not the next iPhone should be postponed, right? Because We just don't know what kind of time frame we're in. Companies are going to do what they want. Companies are going to be fine. They're the ones that have a ton of money. I think it's people like us who are the ones pulling our wallets out when right now they really don't have to be pulled out because there's just so much going on. Which I see Brian here with the dollar super chat, which actually makes me want to kind of segue into that. So for you guys, even who are supporting me with super chat, that does mean a lot to me. It really does. And Brian, again, with the dollar super chat, and Brian's been a huge supporter for a long time, and he always seems to help out where he can. And it means a lot to me. So for you guys to even pull wallets out at this time for, in the situation we're at, with what's going on, again, it does mean a lot. So, anyway, guys, I think that's it. I think that's all I got today. Let me kind of make this big screen for you guys who are new. If you guys just came to the channel, if you haven't, please feel free to like this video. Liking this video helps with the algorithm some way, somehow. I'm going to go with this spiel because I feel like that's the only thing that I think helps with liking. If you haven't subscribed, feel free to subscribe. I do stream daily, Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. Central. I try to pull up things that are important. I actually was not planning to go over an hour today, but the engagement was really good. Like in chat, it was really good talking to everybody. And I see another super chat from Levin Williams. Hey, Levin, thank you so much, man. Levin with the $2 super chat. Thanks so much for that support. Again, guys, all of that means so much to me. It for you guys to even help during this time. I'm very thankful. So please, it means a lot. Again, though, if you guys haven't, I do stream Monday to Friday, 12 p.m. Central. You can catch me again here tomorrow around 12. If you guys haven't already, I'm also very active on Instagram. If you guys want to see my photography, you can check my Instagram out. It's at Phone Jerome. It's right there at the bottom left of my screen. So you can find me on Instagram there at Phone Jerome. I try to stay active on Twitter also at Phone Jerome. So you can check that out as well. Otherwise, that's really it. I am gonna kind of I'm gonna kind of like keep you guys occupied and talking while I pull the outro up because I want to have this up to play while this is ending. But again, guys, thank you so much, and I will see you tomorrow, right? 12 p.m. Central. Look for me then. So, all right, guys, have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, here's the outro. Bye.